I stared at the eclipse, and now I'm filing for disability. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast, where two guys take on life, liberty, and the pursuit of gravy, and you, the listener, are getting a degree in common sense. We are broadcasting from the HB5 studios right here in beautiful downtown historic Concord, North Carolina. We've got a great show lined up for you. As always, I'll be your host, Biggin, and how about you? Before we begin, let me go ahead and introduce you to the second half of this flaky biscuit, though. He is the pride of Anderson, South Carolina, 2016's Honorable Mention Father of the Year, the inventor of the redneck egg roll. Give it up on old mic number one. It's Mojo!
Me and Trump both stared at the sun in the eclipse, and we both survived. We didn't need those stinking glasses. Well,
I'm a little concerned what he said at the beginning of that song. What, dropped a deuce and something? I don't know.
It's all good. So, hey, welcome back to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. You can find us on the webs at www.southernfriedphilosophy.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Southern Fried Philosophy, on the Twitters and the Instagram at SFP Radio. Also, please go to Google Play, iTunes, and Stitcher. If you go to iTunes, which is my preferred podcast listening of choice.
Is that it?
Yeah. You go to the podcast button or you go to the iTunes store. Just put in Southern Fried Philosophy. Like the podcast, also subscribe, and also give us a rating. That's how we kind of appreciate ratings. It could be a 1. We don't care. We like listener feedback. So
we've asked you for 46 episodes,
and people have done it. We want more.
We need more of
We're
you.
narcissistic like that. So
we're not really narcissistic. We just need you to do that.
Yeah,
one thing. We just you have one job, people.
That's right. But also, if you can go to any social media, and also you can share our episodes with your friends, your favorite episodes, and we also enjoy hearing from you guys through email. You can reach me at Mojo at southernfriedphilosophy.com, or you can reach Biggin at southernfriedphilosophy.com.
I've never checked that email, by the way.
So you may be all backed up.
I may be, kind of like my colon.
Like the toilets in Durham, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let it roll, Bo.
Well, I'm going to ask you like I ask you every week. Mojo, how you be doing?
Trying to put this as nicely as possible. Boy, I'll start out with burns my biscuits. This week is
wait, so this is it?
Yep.
Get about the curveball, Ricky. Give him a heater.
Dude, so we this past week we flew to after the podcast last Wednesday. We boarded a plane, myself and my 3 other family members.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to go to Dallas, and we flew to Dallas that day. So anyway, get there at 4:30 in the morning. We're all amped up already and ready.
4:30 in the
4:30 in the morning
at the airport in Charlotte.
At airport in Charlotte. I usually have to go a little bit earlier because I have to wave off the scans, and I have to go through manual pat down.
Ooh,
so
that sounds
yeah,
fun.
just because of the pacemaker, a metal knee, I got wiring in my chest.
You're like RoboCop.
I'm held together with chicken wire and bubble gum. I mean, so I have to always do this, and it's just one of those privileges of flying, I guess. But you get that surly guy who does not like being at his job
or his life, really.
That's right, and you always just get that guy. I always get that guy first thing in the morning.
There's never a chipper one that's like, hey, I
actually in Ireland. I did have
really?
in Ireland, but of course Ireland has less strict. I mean, they're just they're happy. They're happy to see you. But
well, they have the leprechauns.
Yeah, and I think TSA is useless. To be honest with you, that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
There's other countries out there that don't have this tight security, and they're doing just fine. But yeah, so after getting my boys touched and a hand ran up the inside of my rear end.
Wow.
it's
Well, congratulations. You don't have to go through the prostate exam.
well, yeah.
at the
Good news
doctors.
is TSA cleared me of prostate cancer this
Good
week.
job.
So that's a good news. So.
That's a positive.
Oh man, but we do that, and that's just the whole TS thing just rips me every time. And it gets worse. It gets worse. I mean, I don't know if these guys enjoy it or they just hate life, but
They're going to take it out on you.
Yeah, and I think sometimes honestly, I think TSA and also Charlotte Douglas, but also I think other airports like the bus drivers, the shuttle drivers to the parking lots, the quote unquote courtesy hospitality help that actually work part of the airport. I honestly think HR must stand out in front of fast food joints and waiting for people to be fired. They're like, do you have a surly attitude? Do you really hate dealing with customers?
Check.
We want to hire you.
That's their motivation.
I think that's
their
it. Yeah,
they're advertising on trying to get you hired.
It's just
that's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, me and our flight arrived last night at 11:00 from Dallas.
Good
PM.
night.
And we're trying to find our car. I got 2 kids. One of them's asleep. I got one of them's a teenager who just pretty much
always asleep.
Well, she pretty much just wants to argue about everything. So we're trying to find our car, and trying to find out what lot we're at and what section of the lot. Even the bus driver got in an argument with me because I asked her one question. It's like, can you tell me how these parking or how these lots line up? And she just said, "Sit down. You can enjoy the whole ride." I mean, just it was.
Sit down and enjoy the ride.
I just told her, I said,
"What are we at Disney?"
I just told her, I said, "You know what? I really appreciate the hospitality that you're giving me right now." So anyway, so that was my grief and gripe.
Well, and you had some fun getting to the old Texas, right?
Yeah, my daughter, she first time ever flown. She's 5 years old, so she had. I think it was a combination of just excitement and being up that early, but she did manage to paint my wife and throw up three times. So.
That's thrice if you're
playing
playing at home.
And then once we got to Dallas and actually stopped at Whataburger,
there it is.
she threw up in the floor at Whataburger.
Oh no!
Yeah. So
what did you give her to drink? Like how
she
much
had
has
nothing.
she been drinking?
I don't know where it came from because the little midget doesn't she doesn't drink or eat much. So
yeah.
I don't know where she got it from, but man, it was just.
Did she get mad at you for calling her that? Said I should be a little person.
At 5 years old, I don't think she has her social justice warrior badge yet. So.
Oh my gosh! So how was the? You went to Whataburger. I saw that you you went there. How did you? I've hyped up the Whataburger, I think pretty well, and probably I might have overdone it. But they have a chicken biscuit where it's like a chicken tender on a biscuit, and then they put honey butter on top of it. So I told you when you get there to try that.
Yep.
Just be honest. What were your thoughts?
Well, also a little bit about Whataburger. Whataburger is a Texas creation. It's a local chain out of Texas. They have kind of the same urban legend following like In-N-Out Burger in California. So they just have a massive following. It's thank goodness you don't see the old golden arches a lot in Texas. I mean, it's Whataburger's the kind of what rules there. So I had it built up in my head what it was about. Right, and I was pleasantly impressed. It was a great biscuit, fluffy. The chicken tender with the extra honey butter. That's what you told me to order, and it was good. But I also decided to order a Whataburger also for breakfast. So
to paint the picture, I get a picture sent to me from his phone at like 10:30 in the morning, and there's a picture of a chicken biscuit, and then right next to it is a big A Whataburger as well. Yeah. So how was that?
Both of them went down great.
Yeah,
that was good. It was, it's a great fast food burger.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, compared to some of the larger chains that have all the TV advertisements, I won't name those.
Just in case they might be a sponsor at some point.
Yeah, I doubt that, but I don't know if we'd want them. But but no, seriously, it was a really good burger to be a fast food joint burger. Yeah. So I encourage anyone who has a Whataburger nearby, and I guess they're in several other states now too, but. I would definitely encourage that. So.
I think there's one in Jacksonville, and so when we went to go visit Dad, we would stop in and get that. Unfortunately, now he's moved up here, and now we are that much further away from the Whataburger, so that made us sad.
We just might have to go down to Jacksonville to visit Jacksonville now. So.
Right? Who wants to do that?
But we also did manage to find an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah, so tell me about that one.
In-N-Out burger, I think they're both good burgers, but In-N-Out has a mystique about them too from California. It's just one of those It's been around forever. They do a good job, and it was a great kind of a icing on the cake for our trip. So we had a great trip, and then have that before we hopped on the plane was great. So.
That literally was the icing?
Absolutely, it was
Nice.
one of those things. I had a void in my heart from the last time I was out in California and had one,
Right.
and it definitely filled that void.
So what did your daughter, the teenager, what did she think about the In-N-Out burger versus the Whataburger?
She did not like the Whataburger.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's. Whataburger is basically just like mustard, lettuce, onion, cheese.
Right.
I don't think she liked that combo.
Gotcha.
But Whataburger's good. I'm telling you. I actually didn't tell my wife this, but I actually snuck out because they slept until 10 o'clock in the morning every day. So,
Sure.
I got up at around 7.
Right.
I would get the keys to our friends that we were staying with, and I would go sneak out and get a Whataburger.
Nice.
About every morning.
Attaboy.
So yeah. So
Attaboy.
yeah,
I
I do like that.
I would always go to the office and leave like 20 minutes earlier just so I can slide in there and get the breakfast. It was good.
Yeah.
And their hash browns are a little bit different too. They're like a square
Hash sticks.
stick. Yeah. So
Looks like the
They're pretty
old
good.
French toast sticks that you'd get from the microwave in a box. You know?
listen, I love those French toast sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but those things own me like none other.
Well, they're handy. You don't need a fork and knife.
You put them on a Shoney's buffet or another buffet that's local.
That's right. They used to have those on the.
Hey, buddy.
That's right. They used to have those on the buffets, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So, now interesting trip though. Tell you, it's hot here and it's hot in Texas.
Yeah.
So
I didn't enjoy Texas. We have some good friends.
Sure.
Actually, they're coming up to visit here, not too far away. But
since you opened the bed and breakfast, I'm sure they are.
yeah, no doubt. Well, we have a thing with them where we'll go to Texas, they'll come up here.
Yeah.
So we go back and forth. So we haven't seen each other for a while. So they're coming up here. So and they're from Texas. So he's gonna sneak a couple of those biscuits in his luggage and bring them on up. So I'll be excited about that.
That's good. So how you be doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's been a busy week. We had a couple things going on at the house, at the old bed and breakfast. We had to postpone putting on the new water line all the way down there for the only reason because nobody will call me back.
Oh wow, really?
So-
still on that stage.
Still on that, hey, can I get somebody to call me back stage? So that's been quite the adventure, I'll say. But on Friday, actually, I got an email from one of our big brothers, big sisters, sponsors, and they were giving away some tickets to the Monster Truck Rally here in Charlotte. And so I was able to jump on that and got some tickets from me and my little brother. And so I picked him up, and he hadn't ate, so we decided to go to the Cece's because he enjoys the Cece's pizza. And so as we start to walk into the Cece's, he asked me, he said, hey, did you notice I put on some cologne? And I said, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did about 4 blocks away from picking you up. And he's 13, so, a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And he said, he looked me in the eye and he said, yeah, I did that because, quote, my mom says I smell like butt. So I said, so to cover that up, you decide you're going to put on cologne. Why don't you just take a shower?
Right.
Quote, showers are bad for your health.
Is this scientific fact?
It's a science.
Did he learn
According
this?
to him
Okay.
and all of his buddies, that showers are bad for your health.
I mean,
so
the girls love it too.
the chicks dig
Yeah.
a guy who smells like
Just
butt.
smell like BO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially at the age of 13, you got the hormones raging and stuff
Whew.
like that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you sweating all the time, 24/7.
Right. Just decided not to change clothes at all.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah. You got one armpit that smells like fresh green grass cut and another one that smells like you've been chopping garlic all day. So,
It was like you were too lazy to put the deodorant on the other arm. You're like, one's good enough.
Yeah, what an awkward age and stage, man.
Would you ever go back to 13?
Hell no. I'm sorry. I don't think there's any age I'd go back to. I kind of enjoy just staying where I'm at. Yeah. So
If I could go back to any, I would go back to probably 16, 17 and stay there for a while. In my head, I'm still 26, so I'm doing that life there.
yeah.
Now I don't feel like I'm 26.
Right.
I feel like I'm 84.
Yeah.
But hey, in my head, I'm still 26.
Yeah. I think I did too much damage in my teens and 20s.
Right.
I'm good where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So it's a healthy place.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, and spiritually. So
Yeah, that's a good call.
I don't think I could.
You think you're good?
I don't think I could.
The other big thing that happened this week was a solar eclipse.
Yep. I don't know if you missed that. I don't know if you
because it wasn't on the news and nobody was talking about it.
Facebook,
on social media. No one talked about it.
And it was kind of a good combo because you had first day school pics back and the eclipse at the same time. It's cluttering up your social media feeds.
Right.
So, yeah.
I have to get off social media for a while, right when school starts, because here's all the pictures.
Yeah.
I don't need to see your kid. Nobody else. Mama and Papa, they want to see it, but nobody else does.
Yeah.
Can I just be honest with you?
Well, I'll just send you a picture of my kid. So it'll be her first day of school. So
I'll take that one.
There you go.
So how did you get to experience any of the eclipse?
We had no eclipse in Texas, which was kind of sad.
Because Texas refused the eclipse. That's what I heard.
Absolutely.
They pushed that back.
They just bucked up and said, "Nope, not today." But
not in my state.
Yeah, not my state. We're the Lone Star State. We'll do our own eclipse. But no, it wasn't. We didn't get to see it. But of course, we didn't need to see it because pretty much everybody had it on social media.
Yeah.
But my hometown was evidently in the center of totality, and I didn't know so many people knew the word totality.
Right.
So which I was impressed by that.
Well, because they've used it on the news for the last 4 months.
Yeah. So I was kind of impressed. But man, just the sheer madness. So I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina, and we have a major highway there. 85 is our highway that runs from Florida all the way up north. And 85 was nothing but a parking lot going down and a parking lot coming back.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I got to avoid it, but I got to hear everybody else moan and groan. But not only were people chasing the eclipse, Krispy Kreme donuts, which is our another gift from God in the South.
Right.
Krispy Kreme Donuts issued a once-in-a-lifetime eclipse donut. And people in my hometown waited 4.5 hours for a dozen of these donuts.
What made them so special?
I think they had chocolate on them.
Don't they all have chocolate on them? Well, I mean,
I think they were chocolate with chocolate or chocolate.
I saw where Duck Donuts, is that?
That's another chain, yeah.
They did a half black and white. It was a black and white donut, and people went nuts for those.
Now, I love me some Krispy Kreme.
No doubt.
Especially with the hot light on. But 4.5 hours, I got better things to do. I'm sorry.
There ain't nothing that I would...
But man...
I'd rather... Well, I was going to say I'd rather go to a concert, but that's not true.
But no, I mean, ingenious for Krispy Kreme and Duck Donuts and whoever else capitalized on it. But,
sure.
I'd just go back for the regular ones the next day.
Right. Yeah, so, they can't taste that much different.
But the madness, man, I've never seen... I mean, I've seen things, but, people were selling... these solar glasses they pick up for $1 or something. They were selling them for 10, 100. I mean, it was crazy.
How much are they worth now?
I got to give it to some people. They were actually pretty funny. People posting like 2 minutes after the eclipse ended, they're like slightly used solar glasses, $10 or something like that. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the eclipse madness. So yeah, if you're out there and you were in the path of totality. Shoot us an email or something on Facebook. Send us your pics. So we'd like to see those. Or
listen, they're all the same picture though. Like I don't
a dark spot.
It's a I mean like
there might be a little different. It might be a water tower from Iowa.
I
or
maybe
like
give you that. Yeah, but like if it's just the eclipse, they're all the same picture.
Well, maybe I tell you what. If there's a combo pic of your kid first day of school standing under the eclipse, we'll take that. How about that?
Dude, did you hear like schools were canceling classes? Or they were keeping the kids in class. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
And then they were canceling like practices and things like that afterwards because they didn't want the kids staring at the sun.
Right.
Like it's already over. Like why are you worried about that? You can't even stare at it long enough because it hurts your eyes.
That's right.
What kind of moron?
You know who else has egg on their face after the eclipse?
There's a lot of people.
All those doomsday preachers probly.
Oh yeah.
You have. When you have some type of cosmic event that could be happening, they'll be preaching.
The old tennis shoe group that thought Hale-Bopp comet.
Yeah.
They thought that was going to happen.
That's right. Heaven's Gate cult. So, but no, we didn't hear any suicide, so that's good.
That was good.
But there was some doomsday preachers that were like, Jesus is coming back. Well, I got to redo it.
2 minutes later.
Maybe 2024 will be now the new date.
Yeah.
So
here's how it went down. All right, guys. Jesus is coming back on this eclipse.
Yeah.
Everybody, here we
Yeah.
go. Yay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's all stand around.
Do we shave our heads this time?
No, that's good. Here comes the eclipse. It's here. It's over.
Here comes the master.
I must have forgot to carry that one.
We got to do mullets next time. That's what it was.
Oh,
yeah, it was the mullets.
Maybe our hair wasn't done right,
Yeah,
so we got to
yeah.
get the mullet
Or the
next
proper
time.
tennis shoes.
Yeah. Good night. Here in the old Charlotte, I was thinking it was going to be a whole lot more dark
Right.
than it got. It was almost like it was 8, somewhere around that ballpark. But I thought, it was a little disappointing.
I think we're here in Charlotte. I think they were calling for like 97% totality. So,
But 97% of the sun is covered up.
evidently that extra 3%
Yeah.
takes away a lot.
Y'all.
So, I saw pictures from here in Charlotte, and it was different than Greenville, South Carolina. I can tell you that now.
Sure.
I mean, it was totally different. So
Yeah. People were looking forward to that thing. It lasted a whole 3 minutes.
2 minutes and 40 seconds or something, or two. I can't remember. It was like 2 minutes and something, but people were like, "Oh, it's life changing." I mean, it could be. I don't know.
Listen, the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds that was life changing was my honeymoon.
I saw dogs and cats hugging each other. I saw people making up. What do pilots do during an eclipse?
That's a good
I was
question.
thinking that, and thank goodness I didn't have to fly that day. So
But I think that I saw some pictures of people on the planes where they had the eclipse stuff. It was pretty cool.
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'm sure NASA has some pretty good pictures too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. There's also the Kentucky Derby, somewhere
Right,
around that ballpark.
right.
So
Honeymoon night.
honeymoon night,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
How long I would last on a bull if I was doing a radio?
2 minutes and 40 seconds, you think?
2 seconds, 40 seconds.
See, okay, there you go.
I can probably eat 10 Whataburgers and.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we are going to go into some wacky news. All right. You want to go first, or do you want me to?
You go ahead.
You know how much, again, we've documented how much I hate old no shoulders, Satan's little hand puppet. A mom makes horrific find under her kid's bed. And this is courtesy of AOL News. Who, does anybody even...
I didn't know AOL was still around.
I had no idea. They're a media outlet, evidently. A mom in Thailand, I'm not even going to try to say the name of the city, discovered her family's kitten dead outside of her son's window. She was horrified to find the culprit hiding under the child's bed, a 10-foot-long python. The mom says the massive serpent came into her home through her 13-year-old son's bedroom window on Thursday night. She found the kitten's body near the window's ledge and quietly began looking around the room to find clues, and spotted the snake's glistening scales underneath his bed frame. Could you imagine, could you imagine waking up, going to your kid's room, and seeing the snake underneath their bed? The mom said that the son usually sleeps in his own bed, but that night, thankfully, he fell asleep in the mom's room the night before the incident.
Two questions. Did she call 911, and was it the boa constrictor attached to her nose?
Oh.
911, what is the location of your emergency?
Please.
Hello?
I had a boa constrictor stuck to my face.
Ma'am, you have a what?
Ma'am, you have a what?
A boa constrictor.
She called the animal control, and they came in and took it away. But could you imagine
10 foot.
10 foot in your son's room?
10 foot tall and beautiful hair. No, that's dude, that's frightening. I mean,
Yeah. Could you imagine?
yeah, I mean, snakes like that. I mean, I could see like a 3 foot, or
Right.
not be that terrified, but 10 foot. That would
That would do some damage.
depending upon the size of the kid. That kid,
Oh, yeah.
if it was a little kid like my 5-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
that would be a tasty little victual.
That the animal control people said that it was an aggressive snake too. It bit
Oh, wow.
it bit him and kind of tried to wrap, and they put it in the canvas bag,
Sure.
and then they released it into the wild.
Oh, that's smart.
I don't understand that
Yeah.
piece.
Because I'm sure there's not enough. I'm sure that's an extinct reptile. Or,
Y'all, It's kill the thing. Can we not just destroy them? Why do we got to feel like we got to put them back into nature just so they can crawl back in?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
It's like when they relocate alligators, like one pond
Yep.
over.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to take it out of your pool and put it in the retention pond right next to it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, we're going to take it out of this community and put it in the other community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't make sense, does it?
No, sir. Common sense is a superpower. What you got?
This is from the BBC
Mm-hmm.
News. Rescued piglets served up as sausages to firefighters.
No.
A litter of piglets whose bacon was saved from a barn fire has been served up as dinner to the firefighters who rescued them.
Mm-hmm.
The 18 piglets and 2 sows survived the fire in Wiltshire in February, which saw 60 tons of hay catch fire. That's a lot of hay. In a controversial move, farm manager Rachel Rivers thanked the Pusey fire team by giving them sausage. The firefighters initially said the bangers were fantastic, but following complaints, have since said sorry. People for the ethical treatment of animals,
Oh, here we
a.k.a. PETA, a.k.a. we can't stand them, said the piglets were no better off for escaping the fire.
Well, as a matter of fact, they probably were. They didn't burn to death, for one.
Yeah. Plus, they get to spend a little time in piglet land and form friendships and stuff like that, and probably write their last will and testament. So it was a little better.
Right.
And also, you get little age adds to the awesomeness of the flavor of the pig.
Right. So. And they probably go down a whole lot better than just running around on fire. But of course.
But anyway, of course, PETA, not to be outdone, they will be sending Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service packs of vegan sausages so they can see how easy it is to truly be heroes for pigs by sparing them all the suffering. So, of course, both sides call flack for this, but what a twist of irony.
When the Wiltshire Fire Department got the vegan sausages, they said, this tastes like crap.
Let's go feed it to the pigs.
Let's go feed it to the pigs.
Pigs will eat anything.
Yeah.
But, just the circle of life. It's kind of, I guess, Babe the pig survived once, but not twice. So
the only thing I would be upset about in that whole story is the fact that they made it out of sausage and not bacon.
Well, in England they don't like our American streaky bacon.
Oh, do they not?
No, they don't. They like a different type of bacon, which is pork loin bacon, and it's not the same.
I couldn't. I even get a little upset about Canadian bacon
because it's not bacon.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bacon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Bacon,
you try.
Bacon is a delicious vitamin, I've heard. Or
well,
mineral.
So from what we learned so far on the podcast,
right.
One, showers are bad for your health,
right.
And bacon is vitamins.
Vitamin B. Vitamin B14 or something like that.
Vitamin D.
Scientific proof. Look it up.
Yeah. Facts are optional here on the show. Speaking of things of political correctness, the USC mascot squabble. Here we go. And this is brought to us by a bunch of morons that don't have anything else better to do than to not only not be offended about something that actually shouldn't be offended about, but now they're just making things up to be offended about. So in California, a cultural battle is waging, didn't see that coming, over Civil War icon that has spread to the name of horses. At the University of Southern California, a student group has declared the equine mascot of the school's Trojan football team a symbol of white supremacy. Why? Because the horse bears the name similar to that steed that belonged to a Confederate General Robert E. Lee. The USC football horse is called Traveler with one L, while Lee's horse was known to be Traveler with two L's. The student group's leader voiced her disapproval of the team's horse's name earlier that week and at an on-campus rally to protest last week's violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. White supremacy hits home, Sophia Jackson, the co-director of the USC Black Student Assembly, told fellow students in pointing out the similarity of the horse's name. The student newspaper reported.
I'm sorry, Jesus, but Christ on a cracker. This is ridiculous. This is, and my next story follows suit with this too, but
Y'all,
make it stop.
can I...
Awkward pause for effect.
I don't get it.
No.
We've had, last week, there were 63 people that were killed in Chicago of gun gun violence,
Mhm.
black on black
Or
crime, so on and so
63
forth.
people killed or shot.
Shot. I'm
Okay,
sorry,
sure.
shot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of
That's a
people.
lot.
But how many were caused by statues? Can somebody tell me that? Yeah, I can. I've done the math. It's 0,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah.
0 people were killed because of a statue. A statue did not get off of this pedestal and decide to plow through anybody.
Right.
But there were 63 people that were shot in Chicago just last week. So if you're going to protest something, why don't we protest that or something that actually makes sense?
Or it could save lives.
Yeah, but we're gonna bow a knee on the NFL for that.
Look, I'm all about free speech.
got
I
you.
truly am.
Sure.
I truly am. But just the madness is almost deafening now because when they're going to ask Travelers Insurance to change the name of the insurance company,
Oh, that's a good call.
you know, God, so many rabbit holes you can go down with this.
I
Rabbit
mean,
trails, man. This is
You're
it's nuts.
looking for something to be offended about. You have to
and
be.
honestly, these people wake up every morning to
Yeah.
find out how to be a professional victim.
Yeah.
So, and usually, I'm gonna go ahead and say it as it is. Okay.
Bring it.
Most of these protesters, anti-fascist, whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
are snot-nosed, privileged white kids
Mhm.
who feel like they have to be upset about something.
Mhm.
Probably mommy didn't hold them enough, or daddy didn't get off of work to enjoy their soccer game or something. They're probably playing their video games pimply-eyed and ordering their Domino's pizza, talking to their only friend online. I mean, these are the kids that do this.
But I mean, again, this is USC. How many times has California been brought up in that entire Civil War? Probably 0.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
they just have to get involved.
Yeah.
It just drives me.
Well, I mean,
bananas.
California is where a lot of this stuff stems from. As we've talked to
Sure.
our previous guest, Mason Weaver, who's from UC Berkeley. It's just the radicalization of these kids, and they I don't know if they just feel like they have to belong to something, and this is like the new cool hip thing to do is belong to these groups that really serve no purpose. I mean, at the end of the day, what values and virtues do they actually bestow?
Yeah,
Nothing.
I don't get it. I just don't.
And I think one of the Antifa spokespeople this past week said, "We're trying to stop. We're trying to start peace through violence." What kind of statement is that again? I mean,
The fact that Antifa, which by the way is not getting nearly enough news coverage,
no.
The fact that they want to kill the white supremacists because they want to kill another group of people, by definition, is terrorists themselves,
Yeah.
right?
And actually, an interesting segue is that there was enough signatures collected this past week. There was a petition actually to formally recognize Antifa as a terrorist group.
Oh, wow.
So that's actually there was over 100,000 signatures collected for that, and on whitehouse.gov or change.org, and the White House has to respond to that now.
Wow.
So,
Well, here you go, America. I'll give you this. Good job. Bunch of morons.
yeah, and it's. I wish these kids would actually look up what the definition of fascism is. It is not what we have right now. It's not what we stand for. It is basically fascism and communism and socialism are basically the same sides of a coin. Opposite.
Right.
I mean, you flip one coin, you get one turd, and you flip the other one, you get another turd. It's the
Right.
same turd at the end of the day. So, but it's
I've never heard that expression before.
yeah.
Same side of the turd.
Yeah,
Got it.
I mean, it's pretty much. I mean,
Why are you flipping turds?
because that's about the description I can give.
You're
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because at the end of the day, that's what you get with fascism or communism or socialism.
right.
So, but it's. I wish these kids would actually look up, because what they're actually doing is actually part of the definition of fascism. They're actually squashing
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. And once again, I'll reach out to any Antifa person who happens
Please
to
come on
capture
the
this.
show.
On our sizzle words that you pick
Sizzle
or what you call tag words, whatever we put on the podcast that you can actually look up.
Right. Yeah.
I would
got you.
challenge anyone to come onto this
Just explain
show.
to me why you want to kill a group of people that want to kill another group of people. Just explain that to me.
Yeah, and also, why be so pansy about it? Like, they go throw one punch and they run back in their crowd. Have you seen these fights they do? Oh,
no.
it's crazy. Or they'll take a bike lock. They'll go hit someone in the head with it, and then they run back to the safety of their little minions.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it, be a man. Go fist to fist. So I there's no place for people like that in our society, unfortunately.
This is going to be a really strange transition, but talking about being a man.
Donuts.
Gosh, I'd love some. Talking about being a man, I started binge watching this new one. It's new to me. Last Chance U. Have you watched this show?
No, I have not.
It's a really interesting show. It's on Netflix, and it's about this Eastern Mississippi Community College, and that group, that college, basically is taking a bunch of these students that have either failed drug tests, that are didn't quite make the grades, that are had some public image issues, and have gone down to this Division II school, and then they spend a little bit of time so they can get their grades or image or whatever back up, and then they go back to Division I or the NFL or whatever. And it's a really interesting show, and they follow the head coach, who's a professing Christian, and they have Bible studies there and all that kind of stuff. And then, but throughout the football season they're following, this coach is just like screaming and yelling and cussing like none other to his students, and it just kind of rubs me the wrong way on that piece. But
Sometimes you got to use those adjectives.
yeah,
I
no,
guess.
but he's just like he's throwing punches on refs and
Oh,
things like
wow,
that. So
wow.
he gets a little bit out of control.
Wow.
So I'm just
maybe
on the
maybe
first
he's
season.
at that school because he can't coach Division One.
You're probably right.
This is his last chance. Too.
Yeah, but it's an interesting show. I would encourage you to go.
I'll
check
have to
it out.
check it out. Speaking of sports,
Okay.
this is you can look up any article or whatever. I just have to
Here-
pull up the Kansas City Star. But
Here it comes.
have you heard about the guy named Robert Lee? Not the Confederate general, but
Yeah.
there's actually an announcer. His name is Robert Lee, and he is an Asian American,
Right.
and he is an announcer for football, for college football. Anyway, ESPN actually removes him from the September 2nd William and Mary game due to his name and due to it being so close to the Charlottesville fiasco and protest and the unfortunate death of that young lady. But yeah, they removed this announcer due to his name sounding similar to a Confederate general.
And can we maybe describe said journalist?
He's Asian. I'm sorry. But I mean, and he's an American guy. He's an Asian American.
What kind of dumb A? Can I just say that? Just
I'm
y'all.
being in the South. We learned about Southern history.
Right.
It's one of those things, and I'm trying to remember what war was it or what battle was it? Gettysburg or was it Fredericksburg that the Asians on the Confederate side won?
No,
No.
none that I can remember. I've been told.
Yeah, I don't think that. We'll have to look that
No.
up. But yeah, that's
No.
it's been a. Oh, geez, I don't know where to go with this. This is the height of PC sensitivity and virtue, what they call fake virtue signaling.
And you know what ironically I thought, probably just me being naive, was thinking that maybe Trump would help stop some of that PC correctness. But it just seems like it's worse.
Well, he says it. He's not politically correct,
Right.
But it seems like everybody else
But
is.
like I would like if he was talking about it enough, I was hoping like maybe somebody would come to their common sense and be like, all right, well maybe he's not so bad. But it just seems like it's worse.
Yeah, ESPN hates racism so much that they're punishing an Asian guy for having an Asian last name. Lee is an Asian last name.
Well, remember there was that school, the Lynch School,
Yeah.
that had to change their name because of Lynch. Like it was a family. It wasn't
Right. Had nothing to do with
Yeah.
lynching.
right. Like y'all, come on.
I know this. I know probably the last couple of weeks we've talked about political correctness and just the absurdity, but
Y'all have got to be understanding.
you know, just like we
You
had
know?
comedy gold with Trump and Hillary
Right.
during the election, this is we have political correctness gold here. Every
Yeah.
week we have something to go. I can't tell. I probably have a permanent red spot on my forehead from smacking my my palm into my face.
Well, that's not politically correct. Good.
It is crazy, man. It is It's absolutely irritating. It's I can't even watch ESPN anymore just because of the stupid stuff they have hounded us on now. So
I mean, you just want to sit down. You want to watch even just NFL. Like, you just want to watch a football game.
absolutely.
You don't want to get sucked into the political machine of who's standing, who's kneeling during the national anthem.
Yeah.
That's just can I also say this? It's making the country more divided when you do that. You know, just either don't come out, or I need the owners to actually step up and be like, if you don't do this, then you're fired.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If they want to do it, do it. I don't care, but don't put the camera on them. Let's focus on the game.
Right.
No one really cares about the pregame ceremonies if you're watching TV or whatever. So I don't quite get it. And that, like I said, I may get hated for this. If someone wants to kneel, they think that's a kneeling during the national anthem is going to affect change for whatever purpose they have, then go for it. I mean, I don't support it.
You're just being a rump.
I think that the problems that you're accusing a nation of are probably false. I mean, are based off false statistics in your mind and are warped. But just focus on sports. They get contracts to show this stuff on TV.
Sure.
Show the sports.
Right. And if you want to make a political statement, okay, it is freedom of speech, but the owners have also the right to fire you for not completing a contract or going against what you're saying.
Well, if they don't want to hire you and sign you,
right,
then
that's on you.
That's their prerogative too.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a few years ago, 5 years ago, no one wanted to hire Tim Tebow due to him being a positive influence in the locker room, and of course some people didn't like him being the pretty boy slash Christian slash whatever good boy that he supposedly is. But no one wanted to sign him due to the controversy that he caused in the locker room. Yeah. But now the tables are turned. If no one hires Kaepernick or anybody else, or I think there's a few more the other day, and all of a sudden they don't get their contracts renewed, then it's like racism. Or if it's they didn't want to be signed due to their political. Look, NFL is, to my knowledge, is a business.
Right.
I mean, and these teams are owned by owners. I mean, I don't think it's like government controlled. I don't think this is a private organization that has the ability to do whatever the hell they want to, I guess. Right. So
they should. I mean,
absolutely. I don't want people. I don't want people telling people that they have to bake a cake, for a certain whatever reason. I also don't want, if these owners want to make decisions on their own, they go ahead. That's their prerogative. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think it's, and it doesn't do anybody any good. Again, I think it's just dividing it. It's dividing the country. Why don't you do something good and kneel for something that's actually going to make a change, that's actually going to do something good, instead of just make people more upset.
Absolutely, but also, some of these guys, we'll take Kaepernick. I know he's been the whipping horse for a while now, but how much did he make over the last 6 years? Why don't you put your money
more than I'll ever see?
Why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah.
I mean, both of us kind of do that with philanthropy and donations to whatever causes we seem fit, or if it's going and buying something for someone that needs it, we do that. And that's a large part of our income. Yeah, I mean, it's a percentage wise. Yeah, he could do the same thing. You don't have to roll around in fancy cars and this and that. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is and start donating to organizations that will actually affect change, not just you whining like a little brat because no one wants to sign you. So anyway, my 2 cents.
No, I completely agree. Do something actually, I mean, it doesn't take any I'm going to say guts, but it also doesn't do anything. Like all you're doing is taking a knee. That doesn't really do anything for you. Like, it doesn't help anybody just because you're, that's the lazy way out. It's the coward's way out, I think.
Right. But also, just speaking of him, the issues that he's protesting are nothing like the issues that they faced in the 60s when the players would do the same thing or raise a fist or whatever. We don't have that type of racial division like we did then. We don't have the same type of hatred across this land. So the issues that he's doing right now is basically, I think it's selfish. Yeah. I mean, the statistics that these guys quote are just trumped up to statistics that really don't mean anything and have no ground basis. They have no They have no basis in fact. They're just made up statistics to suit their point of view, and it drives me nuts. And it's amazing how many people latch on to these statistics that these guys quote, or this misdriven cause. I mean,
but again, that's our society where they'll hear a headline and then not even read the article, but then quote the article like, "Oh, this is what it really happened," but it's clickbait.
We're definitely becoming a clickbait society versus the content of the story. So.
Well, I mean, that kind of wraps up our wacky news point. But we did want to kind of bring up a little bit of Trump stuff, right? You had a Trump article we wanted to talk about Trump in Afghanistan?
Yeah, so I'm sure you guys have heard already. Trump made an announcement that we're adding more troops to the Afghanistan cause. So I was just kind of curious what you thought about that, and I actually reached out to Chris with Warfighter Tobacco today, just get his 2 cents, because I never served, and I don't think you have. I mean,
no. I
mean, I would have liked to, but I didn't. So his perspective as a soldier, he is. I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but he did give it a different perspective. He had mentioned that places like that it would take several generations to. Just like how Japan and Germany, you would have to basically control an area and educate the populace. You'd have to build infrastructure for them, this and that. And maybe in a couple generations, that way of life would latch on.
Right.
So it's possible, he says, but it's not one of those things that we can just go in there in 5 years and fix. So
do we want to kind of talk about the points that he said?
Yeah, sure.
So let me let's hear from the horse's mouth.
I share the American people's frustration. I also share their frustration over a foreign policy that has spent too much time, energy, money, and most importantly, lives, trying to rebuild countries in our own image instead of pursuing our security interests above all other considerations. My original instinct was to pull out, and historically, I like following my instincts. But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office. When I became president,
good job.
I was given a bad and very complex hand, but I fully knew what I was getting into. Big and intricate problems. Terrorists who slaughter innocent people will find no glory in this life or the next. They are nothing but thugs and criminals and predators and, that's right, losers. Ultimately, it is up to the people of Afghanistan to take ownership of their future, to govern their society, and to achieve an everlasting peace. We are a partner and a friend, but we will not dictate to the Afghan people how to live or how to govern their own complex
that's what we were saying.
society.
Good job.
We are not nation building again. We are killing terrorists. The next pillar of our new strategy is to change the approach and how to deal with Pakistan. We can no longer be silent about Pakistan's safe havens for terrorist organizations, the Taliban, and other groups that pose a threat to the region and beyond. Pakistan has much to gain from partnering with our effort in Afghanistan. It has much to lose by continuing to harbor criminals and terrorists. In this struggle, the heaviest burden will continue to be borne by the good people of Afghanistan and their courageous armed forces. As the Prime Minister of Afghanistan has promised, we are going to participate in economic development to help defray the cost of this war to us.
We're going to make Mexico pay for it.
Afghanistan is fighting to defend and secure their country against the same enemy.
So there were some pillars that he was saying that I was hoping that video would have, but basically we're not going to rebuild a country. We're just going to kill the terrorists. And he also mentioned that we weren't going to tell the terrorists when we're going to go into attack. We're just going to go in and do that, and then we're going to stay in the country and we're not going to leave. We're going to camp out there for a while. So that's some of the new pillars that he has for war. So go ahead and keep going.
Well, before I start on what I think, but Chris from like I said, Warfighter Tobacco, who's on a previous episode, he spent some time over there, and of course his co-owners also spent some time over there too. So partners, basically, it as far as a geopolitical move, Chris thinks it's kind of a smart thing because you have so many countries there that they're close by. You have Iran, you have Iraq, you have Syria, Pakistan. Obviously, was mentioned. It could just be a thing of projecting power.
Yeah.
I mean, Afghanistan is not like a traditional country, so it's really not like people following a government. It's a bunch of tribes that are just happen to cohabitate in the same land.
Yeah, and on that point, you at least establish like a beachhead there. So
Sure.
if anything does go, we can just put people in our base and deploy from there. It makes it easier for the U.S. to keep peace.
Right. Also, Chris was talking to you because I asked him a question. Does he ever think it could change? Because he's been there. I haven't. So all I can give you is the things I've read and reported on. But he thinks it probably could take two to three generations, just because just like in Japan and Germany,
we still have forces there.
We're still there.
Yeah.
Germany went from obviously a bad situation to
to put it mildly,
they're a narcissistic country, as he puts it. To there was a warmonger and wanted to basically dominate the world, and now Germany's a narcissistic country now, but they're kind of they're on a completely different side. They're focused on peace and environmental causes and money and this and that.
Yeah.
But also Japan was barbaric. They were militaristic. They were ruthless. I mean, you can look at the Indochina wars. They were brutal.
Yeah.
They dominated a lot of land. But obviously Japan's different now.
Yep.
So it could be like that. That was one of his other points. But if he thinks that if we don't do something there, then another Taliban or Taliban caliphate could be set up there, which would obviously be a worse case, or would be a worse off scenario than we're currently in right now.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget how ISIS was established, right? We went in, we pulled out and left a power vacuum, and that's how ISIS was created.
Well, Chris mentioned about history, and I agree, because I think history is a great arbiter and a teacher of how things are done, and history repeats itself.
Yeah, sure.
Post World War II, these countries in the Middle East were basically not really cohesive countries, or they didn't have the same borders that we have now.
Yeah.
Iraq, Syria, Iran, Afghanistan, Syria, or none of these countries really had existed. We came in post-World War II and drew these up and kind of carved them up into nation states.
Yeah.
So these people don't recognize these lines.
Yeah.
They're like I said earlier, they're basically just nomadic tribes who have lived the same way for hundreds of years. Not many of them really care for a nation state and to have no nationalistic pride like you would in Europe or the Asian countries, or even America and the Western Hemisphere. They don't have that identity as a nation state. So personally, I think we need to be out. I mean, Trump promised that, and I think he needs to hold true to that. Now I understand that you make promises and then you have to change. I totally understand that.
Right.
But we're now sending a new generation over now. The original. I mean, what's the original reason we went over to Afghanistan? 9/11.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're sending kids over there now that were either born on 9/11 or a little bit before. These kids had no clue what was going on. So that's how long we've been in Afghanistan. I don't think these people. And I mean, these people are with all due respect.
Right.
I don't think they want our form of life. They don't want our form of government. They obviously don't want our culture.
Right.
I just don't think they're going to adhere to it. I don't think they're going to gravitate towards it.
I think that was kind of his point, though, right? Is we're not going to tell them how to live. We're just going to try to keep the peace and establish, because being a presence in the area will help not allow another ISIS to form. And
I don't. And here's where I don't.
so?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a a political science major. I'm not definitely an international,
Right.
Poli-sci major. But I honestly, I think a lot of times in these societies where you have such a country like Afghanistan where you have a high illiteracy rate. There's not a ton of schools there. That religion is everything. Also, and then you have radical religion on some of the people, not all the people. I don't think that they adhere to the same virtues and things that we do.
Yeah.
If a bomb lands and kills a father, the son will rise up and take his place.
Right.
I think you have this never-ending cycle of terrorists being grown. They're homegrown.
Right.
So, but once again, that's my opinion. I really hate to see more American blood spilt over there, and especially tax dollars. I mean, for people that we can go build a school, and then 2 months later, it's now a breeding ground for Taliban or whoever hiding in there for human shields. I don't want to see that. So
That's a good point.
But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that I give him credit for saying, "Hey, I thought this way." Then I met with the people and changed my idea. I didn't think I'd see that from Trump, to be honest with you.
That's good, Trump.
That was good, Trump. So
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly, power.
I thought we were just going to get that the whole time. But he is trying to, I think, at least trying to make a little bit of a calculated, more thoughtful process. So I don't know. I kind of support that decision. I don't know. We'll see. I'm also not a poli-sci major, so we'll see. I guess time will tell, right?
No.
So we'll see how that turns
it's
out.
one thing we promised, back before Trump even won, that we, if he won, that we'd call him out if we saw him, or we'd support him when we saw him too. So this is just happens to be one of the things I don't support, just because we've got too many irons in the fire already, and Afghanistan has been where countries come to die. Russia has tried, there's many other countries that have tried to come over and conquer and establish things, and it's just not happening in Afghanistan. My personal opinion. Yeah. It's definitely not on my bucket list to see before I die. I can tell you that now.
Oh, that's true. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to actually talk with Marty from Commoners Brewery. So we'll be back. You're listening to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. It takes a customer 3 seconds to decide whether to stay or leave your website. That's why a crisp, clean, and user-friendly website is one of the best ways to market and help and grow your business. At Webmerized Web Design, we offer that and much more. They pride themselves in offering their clients professional websites at affordable prices. Are you a small business? No problem. We can cater to small businesses by working with their clients every step of the way to meet their needs and expectations. Their number one goal is to partner with their clients to help and grow their business with a successful website. They work for every client, no matter the size. So if you'd like a great website, go to webmerized.com, webmerized.com, or you could check out their link on the sponsors link of our website. If you mention the word Biggin, you'll get 10% off your website design order. Again, webmerized.com. Check them out.
Welcome back to the Southern Fried Philosophy Podcast. This is something we've been promising for a while. We have Marty Jackson on from Commoners Brewing here in Concord, North Carolina. He's going to give us an update on their tap room and what's going on with Commoners. So, Marty, welcome to the show.
I appreciate you guys having me on again.
Of course.
You're becoming our most frequent guest. We got to get you a shirt or something.
Give me a T-shirt, or maybe I'll get you guys a T-shirt.
How about it?
I do have to say I have a Commoners Brewing hat on today.
Oh, do you? Yeah. You have it on backwards.
Yeah,
so
I have it on
tell.
backwards, yeah. So, anyway, so give us an update. Last time we chatted, you guys were waiting for permitting and waiting for the Gestapo of the city to get some licensing and all that stuff. So where are we at now?
We're in a good spot. We have all of our permitting and licensing in place, and we are planning to do a couple of soft openings this weekend, with the grand opening being September 1st.
Nice. Well done, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on that. So, I know I stopped by and snuck a sample.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was driving down 85 and from Raleigh, I think. I went up there to pay my tithing to the state.
Well
done. Stopped in and Jonathan poured me a couple handles of tasty brew. So What do you guys have on tap or going to have on tap for this grand opening?
Well, let's see. For this weekend, we will definitely have 5 beers on tap for this weekend. We're going to have our blonde ale, a IPA, a stout, a porter, and a spiced pale ale.
Ooh,
Come on with it.
nice.
So those will be on tap this weekend for the soft opening. Hoping if things go as planned, we'll have 2 additional beers to add for the grand opening. One being an Irish Red, and the other one being a second IPA that we're working on.
Nice.
I have I sent my email request for soft opening, and I haven't got anything back yet. So I'm a little sad.
You should get that today.
All right.
We finalized the list today. To be honest with you, we've got a lot of family coming in from out of town.
Sure.
So the 3 of us were reviewing the list and trying to make sure that, like, we didn't have everybody there on a Friday or everybody on a Saturday, but like if family, I want all my family there together because they kind of requested to travel together and just different stuff like that. So we tried to do as best we could to go through that list and make sure that each family was kind of kept together. So they, again, for travel purposes and just for just ease and comfort of their experience. So
Marty,
that's one of the reasons.
You act like I'm a fat kid that didn't get pick elastic kickball. I understand. No, I understand.
He's like Santa checking his list.
It's a good call. Actually, I wouldn't invite me either, so you're fine.
Everyone who signed up will be getting an invitation. We gave our website guy the go-ahead today to send them out, so
Cool.
he'll be getting those out.
I didn't send one in.
Oh, you lazy.
Yeah, well, that's how I roll. I'm always the last to know of anything.
You're the guy that just shows up just for like, oh, I didn't get an invite. I'm still here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey, I know that guy over there. Can you get me in?
Yeah, you're that guy.
I have stopped at weddings and ate before. So.
Well, dude, I'm really excited for you guys
Yeah.
launching this September 1st. I hope the best for you guys, and I can't wait to see not only what you do, but like the ministry that you're going to have there as well. So it'll be some good stuff.
We're very much looking forward to that. We're going through some of the details now of the Sunday evening service and trying to finalize that.
Nice.
We will probably kick that off in early October.
Cool.
Just to give enough time to, the ministers speaking are doing so on a rotating basis. So coordinating that, making sure we have them all lined up. Musicians, obviously. And we're going to do some of the music ourselves, but we've been so busy with making beer and getting the construction done that we're kind of a little rusty and out of practice.
Yeah, I hear you.
I do play a mean cowbell. I'm just offering that up.
Hey, the world needs more cowbell.
Got a fever, right?
Yeah, well, don't forget us. We'd like to be in the rotation of the mix. So.
Oh, please, yes, absolutely. We'll coordinate offline on that, obviously, but definitely would be interested in having you in the mix on that.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations once again. So September 1st, everybody head down to Commoners. Maybe not at one time, maybe spread up in the next few days, but
yeah, we're going to be open the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for our grand opening. About 5 hours each day. We'll post it on social media exactly what the hours will be.
Nice.
We'll have Copper Ale House is there to provide food. We're also going to have a couple of food trucks. Everybody loves tacos, so we got a taco burrito food truck lined up for Friday and Saturday. And I think everybody also loves mac and cheese, we have a mac and cheese food truck lined up for Sunday.
Now we're talking.
So I think beer and tacos, it doesn't get a much better combination than that, except unless you are a mac and cheese guy, and then.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll put my order in for barbecue if you ever need a request.
Oh, there you go.
Well, the mac and cheese guy does a barbecue mac and cheese.
Son, that sounds sinful. On a Sunday, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for all of our Tokyo listeners, if you want to go ahead and buy your plane tickets now to Concord, you could do that and still make it for the opening.
Well, actually,
Yep, you had a shot.
Tokyo listeners would probably go to your website and actually order some Commoners gear, I'm sure,
yeah.
right? So.
We don't have the online store up yet, but it will be coming online right after grand opening.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, once again, hey, give us your address for those local that want to come by and check out a great new brewery.
Yeah, the address is 1048 Copperfield Boulevard, Suite 101. The Concord, North Carolina 28027. We're the only suite in the building with a balcony. We're pretty easy to find.
Nice.
And sunsets are awesome. If you get a
yeah.
chance to come up in the late evening, sunsets are amazing from that balcony. So,
Very cool.
you know, you can one thing I was going to say. Details will be going out shortly on this. We will be doing pre-sales for grand opening, so it's just going to be a way to slow down or speed up the transaction at the bar.
That makes
If
Absolutely.
you know you're coming, stop by the brewery next week, pick up a pre-purchase card, and that's good. It's going to be good for 3 beers.
Nice.
And instead of having to wait in line to pay for your beer, we'll have a line that's just for the pre-purchase cards. So you kind of speed it up
Yeah.
if you have time to do that.
So pre-purchase your cars. Go ahead and line up a Uber or a DD
There you go.
Absolutely. Well, we're limiting the cards to 3 beers, so
or three.
you know, if
Three
you-
cards. Gotcha.
if you spread that out over a couple hours, you should be okay.
There
We're
you go. That's
trying
right.
we're trying to be aware of that also.
No, absolutely.
Drink
That's not. Well, that's no one's goal in a brewery to make sure anyone stumbles out. So that's not the
Absolutely.
that's not the brewery model. But once again, you guys can our listeners, you can check them out on Commoners on Facebook.
Mhm.
And what was the website again? Commoners Brewing.
CommonersBrewingCompany.com.
All right. Well, thanks again. Thanks for letting us call you and give our listeners an update. We appreciate that.
Hey guys, anytime. Love hanging out with you guys. So just give me a call anytime you want, and please stop by and see us.
You will
looking
be
forward to talking to you.
Yeah, you'll be seeing us.
All right.
Thanks,
Sounds
Marty.
good, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So appreciate him being on the show. You did pose a Facebook question of the week.
Yeah.
What is your favorite arcade game?
Yeah. What was the arcade game that actually took all your coins?
For me growing up, it was Area 51. I played that with our web guy, Robert. Man, we poured so much money into that game, and we never beat it. And so actually, today he sent the thing where we're going to try to buy one.
Yeah. Why not?
Only $1,700. No big deal.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, how much money would you waste playing it?
Oh, yeah,
So you-
probably about $1,700. Yeah, we
Well-
break even at that
Well,
point.
then you can resell it.
Right, that's a good point.
Or we can start our arcade empire with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know that, but here in downtown Concord, they're going to be opening up it's called the Basement.
Which is not in the basement, but
the irony,
yeah,
right?
I guess it's talking about the millennials.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. But it's going to be a barcade, which you can have drinks and you can play old school.
I think I think I'm gonna do my birthday party there.
Are you?
My adult birthday party?
There you
That'd be
go.
great.
That's a good idea. So some of the Catherine, skee ball. To this day, I'll agree with you on skee ball. I love me some skee ball. There's a couple people that said that.
Yeah. Skee ball's fun.
What
if
about
you
you?
can ever get to it.
That's true. What about you?
Games that I played a boatload of because let me rewind. When I was a kid, there was a place called Putt Putt Golf.
Oh yeah, I
Remember
remember putt putt.
Yeah, Putt Putt Arcade Mini Golf.
Yeah.
Is what it was. See, Putt Putt has a little building, probably maybe 4,000 square feet, maybe, and just a boatload of arcade games. Had air hockey.
Yes.
Even had the little turntable air foosball.
Yeah.
Air hockey foosball. We had USA versus Russia. And just every arcade always knew.
Yeah.
And Saturdays they ran a deal. It was $20. Parents
Yes.
could drop you off, lock you inside. They'd basically parents would get a
Freebie.
6-hour window. So that $20 gave you tokens. It gave you a hot dog and a soda. And every Saturday it was me and a couple buddies, Brian Fisher and Mark Patterson, and we'd get dropped off up there and we'd play video games.
There you go.
And I'd probably burn through my tokens in probably about 7 or 8 minutes. But
It was faster than the Eclipse.
that's right. But Paperboy,
That was a good one.
Contra was one of them.
Yes. Oh
love
my
Contra.
God, Contra. Up, down, left, right, BA select start.
Yep.
There
Gave
you go.
Gave you all the weapons, right?
The 100 lives.
Yep. And then I did like Double Dragon.
I didn't play that one.
Didn't play that one. Rampage. You remember Rampage? Rampage had like Godzilla and they had King Kong in it. And your goal was to climb a building and knock it down. And I don't know. I found that intriguing. So that was some of my favorites. That usually took the brunt of my coin load.
Yeah. Spy Hunter. I always liked that one. That
love
was a car
Spy Hunter,
game. Remember
yeah.
that one? Of course, Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers. Those were all great ones. Galaga were also good ones. One thing after being married to my beautiful bride for, it was a 12-year mark, I never realized how much she has a passion for pinball. Had no clue. And we were at a place called Abari, also in downtown Charlotte, actually, that was also the kind of same
Right.
thing, beer and drinks and the game. And she just loves pinball, and I never knew it. I beat her, and I still feel bad that I beat her in the game that she loved the most. So, but I had no idea. 12 years of marriage, boom, right there. She's a pinball person.
I would throw this song on for your wife.
In honor of you, honey.
Yeah. So those are some. Pinball was. I was never really good at it.
No.
I love playing it though.
I don't understand if there's a skill to that or not. I mean, I just keep hitting as hard as I can, like the ball.
Yeah.
Now, every once in a while, I'll get it in that little cradle,
Right.
where it comes down just far enough where I can hold it.
Yep, the paddle.
Yep, and then just let her go, and then hit it really quick. That's my only strategy.
Yeah, I was never good. I mean, I was decent at it, but man, there's some people out there that were just phenomenal. They could shake the machine correctly,
Yeah.
and bounce it off of the railing and stuff and get extra points. I'm trying to even think of some of the great pinball machines I actually played. Like I think some of the original, maybe Star Wars was great.
Yeah.
Kiss,
Oh,
the
yeah.
band had a great pinball. Pinball.
The one at the arcade in Charlotte was Indiana Jones,
Ooh.
where you didn't pull the trigger back; it was
Yeah.
actually a gun, and you shot the gun and
Nice.
it took off.
Yep.
But the thing that on that I do like where you can control how far it goes,
Mm-hmm,
or how. But that one, just the gun, it just shoots out. But
Yeah, then the pinball, the pinball machine started getting crazy. They had like as soon as you fired it, it had the swirly swirls, like it'd go up and like.
yep,
So those were a little past my prime in playing pinball, but they're still pretty neat. So
I'm excited about this the basement opening up.
Yeah.
I think it'll be kind of cool.
I think, but arcades, something I really wish was around for kids now.
Yeah,
Because it was a great little hangout. Everyone went there, from jocks to cool kids to nerds to what I'm saying. It was like one
Yeah.
place everybody could get together. So I really wish we had that for our kids now.
Yeah.
And for us, that was kind of like new technology. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
got to live vicariously through this character on the screen.
Yeah.
So and kind of much like now, but it was a little less advanced than it is now. I mean, obviously, the Double Dragon character, I could not be that Double Dragon character, but it was, I don't know, it's just cool.
What where did the roller skating rink fall down for you? Did you ever go to the roller skating rink?
I would go, but I couldn't skate.
No,
I sucked at skating.
you were the guy that stood there.
I was the one that went out there and about broke his tailbone.
yeah.
So I just had I retired my roller skates pretty quick.
Listen, I always wanted to punch the guy that would roller skate backwards. Be like, you show off. I just wanted to punch you in your face.
And he'd do it like speed skating.
Oh
style.
yeah. I was like, you. I went around the wall several times, but then I actually got to go in the middle, and I held my own for a little bit.
Yeah, I was not gifted with the gift of balance. I was more gifted with the gift of inertia and gravity.
Sure.
So I just the physics never worked for me. So
The two things that sidelined me while I was roller skating was when the pizza was done. When the hot pizza was done, I'd immediately get off the floor for that. And then the second one was couple skate. I was already out.
Yeah.
There was no way I was getting out there.
I used to go up there to talk to chicks, but chicks never want to talk to me.
Of course.
So
You know why? Because I put a gallon of cologne on and tried to cover up.
and didn't wash your one armpit.
Yeah, because baths are bad for you. They're not healthy.
Science.
Science.
Weird science.
Oh, man.
Well, thanks for everyone submitting their game or arcade suggestions. Maybe one of these days I'll buy me a full size Paperboy.
Is that the one you would get?
Actually, I don't know. I think I'm gonna cheat and just get one of those arcade machines that has all the games on it.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
that'd be just
Fantastic.
yeah. But yeah, that game drove me nuts. Spy Hunter too. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take off here, but we are in a new studio. I want to say that we're still at HB5. They put us further in the back to hide us.
But that's all right though, because we're actually going to take a official sponsorship. We're hoping to rename the studio. So
if I'm going to ask our listeners and we'll put this on the podcast question of the week next week. If you could rename the studio, What would you name it?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Should we get some interesting questions on
Yeah, it'd be nice if Budweiser. I guess we'd have to talk about Budweiser then.
that? Oh, no. Maybe
If they ever-
commoners? I would say commoners.
I
Well,
would
unless they
love.
give me
I
like
would
a
love for
$1.5
commoners.
million
I would
check.
love- yeah, I would love for commoners to be it, or Warfighter Tobacco,
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Those are good ones. The
Yeah.
Warfighter Studio.
or First Redeeming Baptist Church of the Redemption of Christ could sponsor us too.
What was that?
I don't know. It's one of those churches you go off 7 side roads and down a dirt road. It's like
Okay.
the really long name of a
Yeah.
church. So it usually has the Christmas decoration still up in July.
That's funny.
Anyway, we always appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, please go to iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. Like I said, iTunes is my preferred choice. Go
Yeah.
to iTunes, subscribe,
Mhm.
also give a rating. And that's how you make sure you get our latest episodes as soon as we release them. And also the rating helps us out.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. But also go to Facebook at Southern Fried Philosophy. You can also go to our website at southernfriedphilosophy.com, on the Twitters and the Instagram at SFP Radio.
All right. Well, as always, keep looking up.